Creating an elaborate drag number from start to finish, part 13. Time to make a crown. We have our reference images pulled up here. This part of the crown, this part, I think we're gonna try to do via hair. I'm just going to be making these spikes. So we're gonna pull out my manly tools and we're gonna get started. So first we're gonna make a base. We're gonna try to, I think we're gonna try to put like a wire here, literally bending this around my head. And we're gonna give this a snip. So we've got this, and we are gonna make 3 more. Straighten it out for measuring purposes, like so. Snip. We have 3 hoops. Now we're gonna attach all 3 at the tips, so it'll create something like this. And we are going to do that first by employing some bending magic. Bending magic employed. And now we're gonna cut a tiny little piece here to make a loop to hold these loops together. Like so. It doesn't look like much, but this stuff is not moving. So the same thing on the other side. And boom, we've got a little something going on here. While these 2 in the front fit pretty much perfectly, the one in the back does not. So unbend, measure, mark, rebend, test, snip. Reincorporate and into place. Test again and have it be mostly good enough. And we have the skeleton of the base. So the plan now is to add more pieces of metal in between each of these to sturdify it and give something for the spikes to really grab onto, because of course we're gonna line this whole thing with the crown spikes. So we're gonna take some measurements. 2.5 inches. 7 inches. So we have our measurements and we're gonna take some metal and turn that into a reality. We're gonna cut here at 4 inches to leave room for bending. And we have marked 2.5 inches in the center. Bend around that marking. And whoopsie, we bent a little too much. Fixed that lickety split. Now we are going to use some duct tape here just to lock this into place. In the past, when I first started working with this material, I relied on duct tape to hold things together. And you can see, well, maybe you can't, but it doesn't work out very well. This is icing, not eggs. So that's done, and now we repeat the step with the second wire. So we've added the back one and we've done a test, and this back wire here is still a little bit too loose. So once again, we unbend and rebend, and a couple tests later, we're gonna lock this into place. It is now sitting underneath the bump in the back of my head to really kind of secure that sucker. And there we go, by itself. It sits nice and snug. That's what we want. But we've changed the shape of the back significantly enough that we have to remeasure. 8 inches. We added a whole other inch. Whew. So once again, testing the back with that wire, and we have a more advanced skeleton of the crown base. We are going to, as I said before, start adding wire here, you know, blah, blah. And we're just gonna be taking rough measurements of this, cutting and bending like so. And of course I forgot we have to add a reinforcement bar here, like that. We will probably still have to reinforce each of these with duct tape just to make sure that it doesn't slip and slide around. But like I said, the duct tape should be the icing, not the eggs. Okay, so this is what we have now. I ended up going ahead and reinforcing the wire loops with electrical tape, which seems to be working better than the duct tape ever has. So that's a happy little discovery. Obviously, this looks incredibly ugly, but this is all going to be covered with hair. It fits nice and snug. I can shake my head and it ain't going anywhere. And once we add bobby pins, you know, and the weight of the wig on top of it, it really won't be going anywhere. And like I said, it'll be covered with hair, not my own, but to demonstrate, like that. There are certainly some mistakes made here, mistakes that ended up changing the shape that I was going for slightly. But you know what? Mistakes are great, and we will take care of them in the next project. But for now, that is the base of my Statue of Liberty crown. I have 15 minutes, so we're gonna start to build the first spike. Now, I'm not really sure what my approach is gonna be. We're just gonna experiment a little bit and see what we can come up with. I think height-wise, this is probably good. A piece of something attached there. We're gonna do this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All done. Oh. I'm happy with the positioning of the spike at the base, so we're gonna secure that down. And rats, you guys, my alarm went off, but this is what we got, and that is that. See you next time.